All right. Moving on. Brian. Okay, this is a... Now, I see what's going on. He's a broker. Brian says, I'm a broker and I booked a load with the company that called about my load. The, quote, dispatcher, unquote, noticed I was a new brokerage and asked what my payment terms were. I told him I usually send a check once I have a signed POD or bill of lading. You know, POD is, if you don't know, it's proof of delivery. Okay. Anyway, he says, I will usually send out a check once I have a signed POD, but since my company is new, I'm willing to do half on pickup and half on delivery. So he signs me a signed BOL, POD. I confirmed with the shipper that the truck was loaded, and I sent the guy half the payment as agreed. Now, when I started trying to call the driver, this is when I found out that I had been double brokered. Uh-oh. How can I protect myself from this type of thing happening in the future? That's a good question, Brian. First off, let's go back to your advances, willing to do half on pickup, half on delivery. My recommendation is no more than 40% on pickup. I mean, if you got to go 50, I understand you're new. So you may be forced to go 50, but my recommendation is always for a new broker. Yeah, you know, if they're not wanting to haul your load because you're too new, give them a 40% no-fee advance or a no-fee quick pay. Now, you know, later on you'll be able to start charging for those, but, you know, to the carrier and you develop a relationship, yeah, that no-fee quick pay will suffice. Be able to talk them into it. Now, your questions about double brokering. You got double brokered by a broker that was representing themselves to be a trucking company. Otherwise, you would have known. So, you get the paperwork in hand. If you did your due diligence, maybe. There's something here that tells me maybe you didn't do the due diligence all the way. But that's besides the point. You were double brokered. How do you protect yourself? Well, it goes back to your due diligence. We did a video on this a while back. You may want to go back on our YouTube channel and look it up. But carrier setup. All right. Now, when you do a carrier setup as a broker, you should be going to the FMCSA website, SaferWeb. I know the load boards and things like that have a link you can click on, and they're connected to the FMCSA website, so the information displays, you know, through their load board. But go to the horse's mouth. Go straight to the FMCSA website. What is it? safer.fmcsa.dot.gov, I believe. You can do a search for it. You'll find it. SaferWeb. There you'll be able to put in the MC number of the trucking company. So you're talking to this guy that was representing himself to be a dispatcher from that trucking company. That's why I'm assuming you got dispatcher in quotes. But he was actually a broker getting your load to double broker it to another trucking company. So, now I'm going to stop right here. A lot of people say that double brokering is illegal. It's not. Okay, it's fraudulent doing it this way. This could be considered fraudulent. But double brokering is not illegal. But actually it falls under the term co-brokering, where both brokers, they have a contract with each other. One usually has the load, the other one's getting the truck. They split the commission, but anyway, that's a story for another day. Back to SaferWeb. You will go to SaferWeb, put in the MC number for the carrier. You'll pull up their company snapshot. That first section in the company snapshot is the general information for that carrier. You should call the phone number for that trucking company. Call it. Verify that they have, whoever this dispatcher we're talking to, verify that they work for that company. You see what I'm saying? Verify. The other thing you can do, that the only time you're going to catch this is you're going to know the guy that's representing himself as a dispatcher. If he's using that company's paperwork and that company don't know about it, you're going to know his name. Hey, I'm just calling to verify, is Bill work for you all in dispatch? Is he authorized to get loads for your trucks? And if they say, who's Bill? Well, you know you got a problem. The other thing you can do is tell your customer the name on the door. Just tell them, name on the door of the truck picking up the load is XYZ Trucking or whoever it might be, and tell them that if another truck shows up to pick up that load and it doesn't say XYZ Trucking on the door, don't load them. Tell them they should call you. Now, in your broker carrier agreement, it states in there, or it should anyway, that your loads may not be double brokered, period. So once you find out, well, okay, your customer calls you and they say, hey, there's a truck here to pick up the load, but it's not from the trucking company you told me should be picking up the load. What do you want me to do? Ask them to put the driver on the phone. Ask the driver when he gets on the phone, hey, who do you drive for? Get their dispatcher information, phone number. Thanks, we got some paperwork issues. We got it worked out. As soon as we do, we'll get you loaded. And you're off the phone. Call that dispatcher at the trucking company of the truck that is there to pick up the load. When you get the dispatcher on the phone, let him know. Identify yourself, your brokerage, let them know that the load they're there to pick up is actually your load. And you've caught somebody trying to double broker the load. Unfortunately, they are a victim of a double brokered load, unauthorized double brokered load. And let them know that you do not allow your loads to be double brokered. However, if they would like to still haul the load, stay under the load, you're happy to do that. They'll just need to set up direct with you. And offer to pay that carrier the same amount of money that you were going to pay that other broker or who you thought was the trucking company. And the reason you want to keep it, the same amount of money is because it has to be more than what that second broker was paying the truck. Otherwise, why double broker it? You see what I mean? Now, if this trucking company hesitates, if they hesitate for one hair of a second, let them go. Hey, thanks, no problem. We'll get another carrier. If they hear, well, I've been working with that guy, old Jim over there for a long time. I hate to do him dirt. Anything like that, let them go. Their loyalty is with that other guy that's double brokering. Okay. It shouldn't be that kind of, loyalty's loyalty. But once they find out that old Jim Bob over there is double brokered a load, they shouldn't be none too happy about it. See what I mean? But my point is, let them go, because if you go ahead and load that truck, it could turn into a hostage situation to where once they get loaded, hey, you get a phone call, till you pay old Jim Bob over there that full amount, we're not going to deliver this load. And you don't need that. You see what I mean? That trucking company, once they found out the load was double brokered, they should have got ticked off, to be honest about it. But anyway, Brian, I hope that helps you out. Again, if you got any questions, feel free to call me at TALTOA, 479-668-0838.